Hey guys, Brian from SoberTube here. Welcome back to my channel. Today's a really cool episode. Today we're going to interview the mother of a man that is a good friend of mine named Vito. We're going to interview his mother and find out how addiction affects the family. We always talk about how addiction affects us. I always talk about how addiction affected me. Today we will find out how addiction affects the mother of an addict. See you guys soon.
Hi everyone, I'm Kathy. I'm Vito's mom. Here to talk with Brian on SoberTube.
Yep. So, when did you first notice that Vito was struggling with addiction?
Well, for me, I think I denied it pretty much for a long time. I think it was maybe about 3 or 4 years prior to when he decided to get sober that I knew something was going on, but I was totally enabling him, and it was a very difficult time in life. There were a lot of things going on, and I realized that he was in and out of things, up and down, all over the place, never came to, family parties, anything to do like that. It was, I knew something was going on, but me, I was not accepting it. I just thought I could keep helping and figure it out.
How did Vito's disease, we all know how his disease affected him. How did Vito's disease affect you and your family?
Well, for me as a mom, you always seem to think that it's your fault or that you could fix it as a mom. My husband was a little different. He just kept letting me do my thing with him. And I kept trying to get him out of it or help him or tell him what was right or wrong. And that's not how it works at all. But it was a very difficult time for the family. And plus other things, life goes on. Life goes on, but your children come first. And when you know that there's something going on with your child, you just feel like you could fix it as a mom. We can't. We just can't.
Yeah, does the family have the power to get somebody sober?
Well, I would say the family doesn't have the power to get them sober. They have to have the power to get themselves sober. I did realize that. I was I want to say one of the lucky ones that Vito realized what he was doing and he was able to figure it out and get to that rock bottom and go off and take care of himself at that point. For me, I was still very, felt like it was like another world. It was like somewhere else I was going. And, but he was able to do that.
How did you feel when Vito went away and left to get sober? Okay,
well, actually, it was a relief. Honestly, it was a relief. When you have a child that goes and does it, and has to go away, and sometimes it works the first time, sometimes it doesn't work the first time. Some people go away many times. Vito has done programs beforehand, but him putting himself away and going away was his doing. I felt okay. I felt actually a relief that he was gone. And then, of course, you have to go on with certain things in your life, that's pretty much, that.
How is Vito today? How is it having him back in your life?
Oh boy. You know what? Having Vito back, it's been a struggle. When he first came home, your mind goes right back there. The only thing I could say that I have learned as a parent since he's been away, because he was gone away for a couple of years, but the only thing that I could say that saved me, because you always as a mom think that you're going to blame yourself for everything, is I found a group of people that helped me understand addiction. I did not understand it, even though we had many issues going on, and I did know a lot about addiction, but when it comes to your own child, it's a totally different story. I did find a group, and they taught me how to not blame myself, that this is their doing. Okay, this is something that they have to be ready to want and fix. You should be there for support as long as you know that they're doing the right thing. And I think that that's what we did. When he came home, I thought he was going to, it's a struggle no matter what, because, he came home and he had to figure out what he was going to do here. He was back in the home with us, and but I gave him everything he needed to help him get through it, that part of being home. But again, you do have struggles every day. It took me I would say, when Vito's home about a year now, will be a year, I would say the first 6 months was hard for me. Always wondering where he was, always wondering what he was doing, always looking at him in a different way. But he taught me how to see that he was okay. He showed me, and I think that was a big part of me getting my son back and learning how he was a different man. I really thought my son was one way, but he wasn't. I didn't even know my son for over 10, 12 years. I didn't even know him. I thought I did, but I didn't. Totally different man. He could sit, he could have conversations with you. He's with the family, he stays for hours. He won't renege on things that he said he's gonna do, those kind of things. And a totally different person.
Are you proud of him today?
I am super proud of him. It's always going to be in my heart. I'll always fear as a mother, and I'm sure any parent that has this in their family will always fear it. But am I super proud of what he's doing? Yes. He has gone, still being sober for almost 4 years. He's had his struggles up and down. He's gone through a lot of things, but hey, life is life. You have struggles if you're on drugs or not. Normal life is a struggle. There's ups and downs in everybody's life.
What would be your advice to the parent of somebody right now who's struggling with addiction?
Oh gosh, you know what? It's a very hard. I've talked to a lot of parents, a lot of people, and honestly, they have to really do it on their own. Again, I have a son who has been sober for 4 years, so I'm in a good place. But I do know a lot of people. My special group that they talk to all the time, they have their ups and downs all day long. I mean, some do really well, and then boom, it drops from underneath them, and it's a very difficult time for them too. I advise that you should not, the enabling part is the hardest thing. The saying no is the hardest thing. But they have to make that decision to do it. But just show the support that if you're willing to do it and you want to, that you will be there to support them. And I think our family has with him, and I think that is a big part of his sobriety. And we'll just be there for him, and even doing things like maybe this that I'm doing. If I can help that one person, that's all it is. If I could talk to that one person, that one mom, even if their child is still out there doing their thing, to tell them it's not their fault. It's not them. It's something that they have to deal with.
Thank you so much for doing this for us.
Thank you very much, Brian.
Hey guys, Vito here. You just listened to the story of my mom and what she went through during my disease of addiction and alcoholism. I guess a lot of people never know what you put your family through during your addiction and your alcoholism, and I just thought by my mom sharing her side of the story, maybe that can help families that are dealing with the same thing that my family dealt with for many, many years. I'm being a good son today, a good person in the society today, and I'm making my mom proud every day. Hope you guys enjoyed her film and hope to hear from you soon. Love you, Mom.